So I'm here with Rosh and Joy in their home, and we're going to be saying goodbye to them as a church this Sunday. So wanted a chance to hear a bit more from them than we would get to hear on a Sunday morning. So just come over to ask if they can share a bit of their journey, of their time being at Hope, and also what you're doing next. So love to kind of get into those two questions with you both. And I think there's a couple of things in terms of the sort of why of this. One of them is that we love you, we're going to really miss you, and we'd appreciate hearing how things are and what's going on with you guys. But also one of our goals as a church, something that we feel God has said to us, is that for this time, our growth as a church is not by planting extra services or other congregations, but it's by sending out people and to other settings, and to do that in a way that we want everyone who's part of Hope to be growing in their faith, actively serving Jesus, and serving God in different ways, living the Jesus life. And for some people, they'll be at Hope for a long time. Some people will be at Hope for a shorter time. It doesn't really matter. It's nice the longer the longer it is obviously nice. But our goal is that growth. And I think with you both, really, it's been a privilege to travel with you in these recent years, and so I'd love to hear a bit about your about what God's been doing in you and through you, and how you've been serving God through your time at Hope. So could you just give us maybe a couple of examples of that?
Yeah, sure. I can probably start. Hi, Hope family. Hope you're well. So for us, I think we came to the UK in end of November 2015. And December 2015, we started coming to Hope. And I think I've told the story many times where we went to a friend's house for a Christmas meal that they very kindly invited us over to, because we were by ourselves. And they recommended the Hope Church. So I haven't seen those guys since. Right? But we came into Hope. We met Chris and Alice. We met Silas and Annie. And we're like, okay, you know what? This feels nice. And we kept coming back. We kept meeting new people, and I think it was the first year of our marriage as well. So I think from my perspective, I've spent most of my adult life building relationships and family and hope, and I think the privilege for me is that yes, there is sound theology, and we've had some great teaching, but I think I've also met so many people that keep it very real, I would look at Chris and say, there are no qualms, there's no facade. His faith is very real. He's happy to acknowledge his faults when needed, and that gives me the courage, and it has given me the courage many, many times, to just be really honest and vulnerable about lots of things that life has thrown at me. I'm getting a little emotional, but I think that's the true gift of Hope. I think Hope Church gives everyone the space just to be themselves, and there is really no judgment. And I found that there are so many people, I don't want to name, because there are so many people so many men, so many brothers that I have stood beside and I've looked up to, and they've been a big blessing in our lives. And there are so many things, it's very hard to pack it in about 7-8 years worth. But there are Christmases, there are glimpses of UK culture, just random Sunday English roasts that people have very kindly brought us to, or we have had a chance to invite people to our homes and give them proper Indian food, not what you get in not in a curry house. Right? I think all of that is special, right? I think that's been a very enriching experience for us. And I know I'm waffling on a little bit. I think the final thing I really want to say is, we came so far away from home, and almost like a cold, bleak, wintry December morning, and we found hope. It sounds good to be true, but Hope Church has been like that for us always. We moved to Emerson's Green maybe 3-4 years ago, and people asked us, "Oh, now it's quite far away for you. Are you still going to keep coming?" It's like, yeah, because we still wanted to. We had relationships that we cherish, and we also had a few outlets that we used to serve, and I think we found that really key for us. So yes, that's for me really.
Thanks, Rosh.
just begin by saying that in Hope we found family in a country where we have none. And I remember when we left India, Rosh had a very close set of friends in Bangalore, and they were part of our church. So just saying goodbye to family and saying goodbye to church friends was really hard. And when we moved to UK, we constantly wondered whether we'd ever have another church family here as close. And I think God has really blessed us in that aspect. Like, I think He heard the desires of our heart, and He led us to Hope. And yeah, I can say that we have friends like family now in the UK. And I think some of the key memories I have from our time in Hope is, I think it begins with prayers on Tuesday morning. So before I started work in UK, I started coming for Tuesday morning prayers, and I used to just like watch everybody and just listen in and not speak much, because I was quite reserved and wasn't very confident to have conversations. But I still remember Silas walking up to me and asking me how my week was and what could he pray for me for. And I just had a job interview, and he prayed before the job interview, and by God's grace I was successful in getting the job after a few months of struggle. And then we started coming to church more regularly, and even though we were honestly the only two Indians in a primarily English church, we didn't ever feel out of place, because
never felt out of place. Never.
Yeah, people were so loving and kind. And doing Sunday morning breakfast was a great way to get to know people and remember their names. So I highly recommend being on the breakfast team if you're new. And I wanted to find ways to serve in the community, but being new to UK and not really knowing what their laws are or what I can and cannot do, being able to serve alongside with the church was a good way to do it. So, which is the reason I started going for Hope Soup Run, and I still am doing, and I'm hoping to continue doing it even though we won't be coming to Hope on Sundays. And I think the winter night shelter was another wonderful memory for us, because we've done it together and separately as well. And I think it gave us an opportunity to interact with people that we wouldn't do in our ordinary course of life. And I think it just shows that we're all, in God's eyes, we're all the same. And just talking to some of these people that have been on the streets and going through hard circumstances made us feel grateful for the blessings that God has given us. But and it was just nice to be able to interact and serve and give back to the society in the way that God has blessed us. Yeah, was there anything else?
I mean, there are loads, but it depends on how much time we have, I think.
And I think the last one, yes, I just definitely want to mention this, is that the biggest blessing for us in our married life was being able to journey alongside other friends that were struggling with having children. And I think we were really encouraged and blessed by their faith in God. Coming to church Sunday after Sunday and just seeing our friends worship in the midst of their own struggle gave us strength and helped keep and sustain our faith in God and His goodness. So yeah, we want to just say thank you to our Hope friends and family for journeying with us all these years.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate hearing that. I was thinking as well about the you were on elders for elder season as well, and really loved and really appreciated what you brought to as elders, running our finances and in all sorts of ways as well, and your teaching and being part of the church. You guys have been wonderful to be with, wonderful to follow Jesus together with you. Can you tell us a bit now about what's next for you? What you're doing in terms of church?
Yeah, sure, Chris. So obviously we've had Talia. She's all of 18 months, heavy and bustling,
It's really quiet here today. And Joy said she was off playing. I was like, wow, she's really just playing like this. She's very quiet. Is she upstairs? It turns out she's at nursery, so that's.
It's never quiet.
It's never quiet.
Yeah. So I think we've reached a point where for a while we've had a sense that we probably need to start plugging in locally, because we actually didn't know any local Christians at Emerson's Green, and we just felt that this season just being local was just going to help us just manage work and family and bringing up Talia, and obviously we have deliberated over it for a while, and it's not been an easy decision, but we have prayed about it separately, prayed about it together, and I think we have a sense of peace that yes, Hope has been this really good blessed season, and it's almost like a comfort blanket or a comfort zone for us, and felt like the right time to do something different, and plug in locally, and so there's a church near us, just walking distance. It's called the Village Church. It is also an independent church, but it's probably has maybe some Baptist flavor, or it's probably like an outreach from maybe some traditional Baptist churches. We've been to that church. It's a lot smaller, but we feel a real sense of peace and feel that okay, this is probably the right thing to do for the next season of our lives. So yes, that's what we are. It's sad, but you just feel that it's the right thing to do for this season of our lives.
And it's exciting. You were saying how when you've been there, everyone who comes is very local, and they can almost sort of point out where their house is.
They're like that house and like 3 doors, that doors.
Yeah.
And of course, people who live near Hope used to do that, but for us, it's always a place of journeying in and out.
Yeah.
And that is fine for us. We are more than happy to do it.
Yeah.
But I think with the family, and we just felt that it's better to plug in. Yeah. Locally for now. We don't know how long this new season is going to be, but I think intentionally we were like, okay, we were very intentional when we came into Hope. So, we would go and speak to people. We didn't want to, just stay within, a certain conclave or whatever. And so we just want to intentionally make sure that we put our best foot forward as we go into this new church as well.
So when you first told me, Rosh, we were sitting in Hope, and I was weeping, but also quite joyful, really sad, but really happy. Because it feels like this is a really good moving on, and it's this is what we're about. We want to send people out from the church really well, following Jesus into the new thing. And it's good that it's sad to be saying goodbye to you guys, but we're really excited about where you're going and what you're doing. We're so grateful to God for this time with you. So thank you for sharing, and we'll pray for you on Sunday, and we'll keep in touch. But it's great to know you're plugging in, here locally, and to be really immersing yourselves here.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Chris. Thank you, Hope family.
Thank you.
So many memories.
Thank you.